YouTube! Hope you are well, wealthy and winning. In this video, I want to give you 5 millionaire mindset shifts for 2025. Now, I want to help you to get unstuck. I want to help you to get from where you are right now as a business owner and accelerate you to where it is that you want to be. Why? So that you're more fulfilled, you have more time, more fulfillment, and ultimately more peace of mind. I'm going to show you some strategies, some things that you can start to focus on that's going to explode and expand, well, not explode because it'll blow up, but expand your mindset so that you can actually achieve the things that you truly want to achieve. So I'm going to show you 5 things. Number 1 is stop charging by what? Let's put this on a red. Stop charging by the hour, by time. When you charge by time, remember, time is limited. It's the only resource that we cannot get back. So stop operating in your business like you're going to live till you're 195. You're not. No matter how many great diets you have, no matter how much water you drink, and no matter how much tablets you take, you're not going to live that long. So we can't charge by the hour because time is a limited resource. But your income is not a limited resource. And I know they told you in school it was limited. I know they told you in school think small. I know they told you in school just follow the pathway and go to university and get a good job and you'll be okay. And somewhere along that journey you decided to break free. Somewhere along that journey you said enough is enough. It is my time in order to shine, in order to become the best human beings that I can be, and in order to add exponential value to the world, and you delve into the crazy world of becoming what? A business owner. And then you suffocated yourself because you started trading time for money, and you started on this concept, the same concept that gave you limited perspective in the first place, which was a charge based on hours. Don't charge based on hours. You've got to charge based on what? Value. Create the value and then charge based on that. You know, if I had a bag, let's say I've got this bag, right? And I say, right, how much would you pay for this bag? And you go, I don't know, well, 100 quid, 200 quid, like max, right? Very standard, box standard Ted Baker bag. 100 quid, maybe 50 quid, whatever, okay? But what you should really ask is, well, what's in the bag? Because if I said to you that there's a check with your name on it for 100 grand, can you see how the bag becomes way more valuable? Yes or no? You see, when you charge by your time, you are simply focused on just the bag alone. You're not focused on the components inside the bag. You're not charging based upon your product, program, or service. You're charging based on the value that they achieve, based on the results that your product, program, or service is going to help them to get. So for example, I've helped clients like Ricardo go from £250,000 to generate over £1 million in just less than 11 months. What's that worth to him? That's a £750,000 gap that through powerful communication techniques that I shared with him, he was able to close that gap. What's that worth to him? £750,000. Is it worth investing £30,000 a year to work with me? Duh! Because why? We're not charging based on time, we're charging based on value. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Second thing, you've got to stop trying to be what? Perfect. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to get everything, all of your ducks in a row and get everything perfect. Yes, can you try and be the best that you can be in every situation? Absolutely, 100%, of course. But there comes a point in time where you've got to let it go and you've got to know that good is good enough. Good is good enough to get it out to the marketplace. That social media video that you've been creating, good is good enough, get it out there. Because when you go back and try and make it perfect 50 times over, of course, unless you're like, I don't know, what's his name? The YouTuber sensation that's got hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of billions of followers. Unless you're like that level and you're generating like that level of income from it, of course it becomes more important the higher level you get. But don't try to be perfect before you get something started. Get it off the ground, get it out to market. I always say to my clients, sell it first, create it second. Sell the opportunity. Tell them what you're about to do. Tell them what they're about to be able to achieve. Tell them what they're about to be able to get access to. And then produce the offer. Don't make it perfect. And then once you've got people going, yeah, I want that. That's interesting. Can you tell me more? That's when you create the opportunity. That's when you create the detail. That's when you create the training program. That's when you start to really frame it together. I never forget, in 2020, I launched my first program. It was called Money Mastery. And I just did it for a little bit of fun. I was retired at the time. I'm 34 years old. And I'm sharing valuable gems on Instagram at the time. And people are saying to me, Jazz, can you run a program on this? Can you teach us how to be financially successful? Can you teach us how to build a business like you did? So eventually I said, yeah, I'll do it. Okay, cool. And then I had 30 people in the room. I started selling the tickets in July/August. And I said, hey, I'm running this event. It's going to be this price. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get 4 sessions live on Zoom with me. I'm going to coach you in order to elevate your mindset and help you to become financially free, blah, blah, blah. I sold it first. And it wasn't until I sold 20 and I got to September, that's when I started to create the program. That's when I started to create the concrete elements, put the slides together and all of that sort of stuff. Too many of you are hanging around waiting and you're going, oh, I need to put the slides together. Oh, I need to get the Instagram. Oh, I need to get the... No, stop all of it, all right? Start accelerating your business growth today by stop trying to be perfect, get it out to the marketplace, set it first, create it second. I hope that is valuable to you. If you're getting value from this video so far, by the way, you know what to do. Send it to the YouTube algorithm. Tell them Jazz Rose be dropping some gems and subscribe so that more people get access to the video just like this one. That is not niche. Tap the subscribe button. So stop taking. This one is going to pee some of you off, okay? But I'm going to tell you because you need to know and you need to focus on it in order to elevate and take this to the next level. I'm going to probably lose some subscribers by this, but here it goes. Stop taking rich advice from poor people. What does that mean? Too many entrepreneurs, business owners, and experts, they take rich advice from people who have never been rich. And that's a bad idea. Oh, my boyfriend told me not to do it. Your boyfriend is not financially where you want to be. Oh, but my grandma said, you love your grandma. I love my grandma too. But guess what? She's not where I want to be financially. So when it comes to business and finance, maybe that's not the person that I take insight from. I might understand the insight, I might understand their perspective, I might understand and start to ask questions about why they feel that way. And then I'm going to be able to make my own purpose-driven and mature decision. Because your decisions will determine your destiny. Too many people let other people determine their decisions and they're in adulthood. Listen, you are an adult. You must make mature, competent decisions independently of other people that you've grown up with. Because guess what? The people that you've typically grown up with, they are typically not where you want to be. So if you want to get somewhere else, you've got to get around other like-minded individuals and take advice from these people. These people will help you to elevate. They will help you to extend. They will help you to expand. They will help you to become bigger, to become bolder, to become more brilliant, so that you can unleash your brilliance into the universe even more effectively than what you're doing right now. I'm burning out. So, I remember when my grandma said to me and my mum, when I told them I was quitting university, I think I was 18, maybe 19 years at the time. I said, I'm quitting university, I'm quitting my law degree. I'm in my second year, I know I've got one more year to go, but guess what? I've just closed 3 big contracts with 3 primary schools, and I'm going to take this business full time and I'm going to run it, and I'm going to do it really well. And they were like, no, you can't quit university. You're the only child your first child in the family that's actually gone to university, but you're doing so well. Why don't you just finish this final year? And I thought about it. And I was like, I could just finish the final year, but I don't know if this opportunity with these 3 contracts is going to be waiting for me next year. Going back to here, don't try and be perfect. Success loves speed. Sell it first, create second. I had to go. I had to leave university. It was frustrating me. I felt like I was limited. I felt like it was constraining me. And I said, you know what? At the end of the day, I can always go back. And that one decision helped me grow my business from £30 where it was when I first started at 17. And I built a £3 million revenue generating company. And then after that, of course, family was just like so elated, so excited, and so encouraged that I had taken my own independent decision. So take your own independent decision. Stop taking rich advice from poor people on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media, in your friend networks, and so on and so forth. Now, here's another thing. This may annoy you, but pay attention. If you pay attention to it and you let it resonate with you throughout the next year or so, it's going to become a blueprint for you, and it will help you to expand. And stop focusing on price. Stop focusing on the price of stuff. Alex Hormozy said this the other day, and it really, really resonated. He said, most people stay poor because they're too cheap to get rich. Most people stay poor because they are too cheap to get rich. In other words, they don't invest in themselves, don't invest in their energy, they invest in Nike shoes, they invest in Gucci handbags, they invest in Rolex watches sometimes, but they don't invest in them. You too, like, they're too cheap. They think about what it costs all the time. And when you think about what it costs all the time, then it limits your capacity to grow. It limits your capacity to grow and take things to the next level. Because if you're always thinking about cost rather than value, my friend, you're always going to live in difficulty. You're going to live in misery. You're going to live in relative misery. You're going to stay relatively stuck. Because in order to elevate, in order to, you might say, oh, well, it costs way too much to go to that networking dinner with all of those people. They're just fancy schmucks. Well, they might be. Guess what? But those fancy schmucks have some information, some intelligence, and some experience that you don't yet have. And once they share that intelligence, experience, and knowledge with you, perhaps you can be the fancy schmuck too. And you can choose not to be a fancy schmuck. You can choose to be you and your unique version of you, but just a richer version. Okay? You know, like it is not a case. And I was conversing with this in the comments on Samuel Leeds' page the other day. It is not the case that in order to be rich, that you have to be a bad person. That is not the case. It is not the case that as soon as you get wealthy, you're going to become some bad, evil character, demon. No, that's what the movies tell you. Think about every single movie that you've ever watched where there's millionaires involved or successful people involved. The successful millionaires in the movies are always painted as bad people. Think about Boiler Room, you know, think about Paid in Full. What's that film with Leonardo DiCaprio with the slick back hair? All of these films, all of these movies, they will paint the rich person as the bad guy, which then sends a negative blueprint and imprint in the subconscious mind of you and I that says, hey, don't become too wealthy, you become a bad person. How do I know? Because I had that blueprint in my mind and I had to find that chip, find that experience, find those movies and go, take that out and dash it to the side. Because that don't belong to me. That ain't my future. That ain't my prosperity. That ain't my kingdom. You've got to take away all of those negative insights that you've got from the news, from the media, and from negative narrative and negative culture. Expedite it, get it out, get rid of it, and start to create a new mindset that is not focused on price, but start to think about, what is the value I'm going to get from this? I remember investing £35,000 into a training program. It was the first time I had invested a significant amount of money. The first time I invested probably more than £1,000 into a training program. But I started to think, well, what am I going to... Well, if these guys can become millionaires from implementing this advice, then who am I to think that, like, I can't do? I ain't going to stay in limited mindset. And do you know that once I started to implement the advice, after about 3 months or so, I started to generate an extra 35, 40, 50,000 pounds a month. Okay, so if I focused on price, I would have stayed stuck. I'll give you another example. When I moved into my house, I live in a £1 million house, 5-bedroom detached house. It's absolutely beautiful and sensational. But I didn't have the money for it. Like when I moved there, I literally just went there with my lodger at the time, Alex, who's unfortunately now passed away. I said, hey Alex, I've just found this house, it looks beautiful, I want to go and just have a visit tomorrow, do you want to come along for the drive? He said, yeah, let's go. So we drove up to the car, saw the beautiful gates and just the gates sliding open, I saw the fingerprint on the door and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I stepped in, automatically the lights came on, I started looking around, high ceilings, beautiful countertops, huge kitchen, massive dining table, enough for many members of my family to come over, sit down and have a lovely meal. Before I left the house, I said, I'm gonna find a way. I stopped focusing on price. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I said, I am gonna find myself a way that I'm not focusing on price, but I'm absolutely focusing on value. This is like, if I buy this house, not only is it gonna great memories, great excitement, great fortune, and great experiences for me and my family, but also it's gonna go up in value. So I'm gonna become wealthier if I buy this house. So I've got to find a way to stop focusing on the price of it, because I didn't have the money cash in the bank ready to go, but I had to focus on value, and through that experience I was able to buy the house and increase my value. Stop focusing on price. Next, stop doing what? Can you work it out? Work it out. Stop doing what? Here's what holds most people back from moving forward. Here's what holds most people back from doing the things that they want to do. Here's what holds most entrepreneurs back from actually achieving the exponential results that they're capable of achieving. Procrastination. Procrastinating. Stop procrastinating. Procrastinating. Oh, I'll think about it. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, maybe another time. Maybe another time may not come. So stop waiting. Start acting upon your dreams now. Start acting upon your vision now. Start acting on your purpose now and be intentional. Drive towards success. Open up the opportunities. Open up your mindset in order to create the things that you want to create, and do it now. Focus on the power. Why? Because you're not going to live to 198. You're not going to, like, I've got it on my wall. I've got a little post-it note in my walk-in wardrobe, and it says, I can't remember the exact number, but it says something like 2,424 weeks left. Cool. Like, I've only got 2,000 weeks left or something like that. Like, I ain't got time to waste. If I want to create value, I'm going to create it now. I'm going to create it with speed. I'm going to create it with skill. I'm going to create it with systems. So that those systems can replicate themselves and they can outlive me. Stop waiting. Do it now. Take action. Success loves speed. Stop going, oh, I'll come to your event one day. Like, people stop me in the street and say, oh, I'll come to your business growth program one day. I'm like, one day I ain't going to be here. And neither will you. Okay, who is it? I think it's is it Jim Rohn or Brian Tracy? He says he calls it someday I'll. No, he said, you ever see these people that are like, yeah, someday I'll become a millionaire. Someday I'll become successful. Someday I'll build the business of my dreams. And you know what happens to people on someday I'll? They never get there, because something always freaking comes up. Some other roadblock always comes in the way. Oh, I've damaged my car. Oh, somebody in my family passed away. Oh, I've hurt my leg. Oh, I've hurt my elbow. Oh, I'm sick this month. Like, that never comes, because the mindset isn't right. So you've got to go right back to the foundations of business. You've got to go right back to the foundations of success. And you've got to implement these millionaire mindset shifts for 2025 and beyond if you truly want to be successful. And the first thing that you've got to get rid of is that negative mindset that might be going, tell you what, shall I subscribe? Do it now! Go ahead and subscribe. I hope you've got value from this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on business, growth, and content just like this. And most importantly, if you've got something clever to say, something interesting to say, you've got some value from this video, I do read the comments, so drop a comment below and tell me what was most inspirational and impactful for you. I'm Jazz Rose, you're amazing, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.